trust of our markets. Doesn't matter what kind of job you're in right now, what kind of business you have, you probably notice that we're going through massive changes right now where the markets are less predictable than ever. There's a time 5-10 years ago where you could pretty much guess who your next customer was going to be or where they were going to come from. But what we're actually seeing now today is just by the way that people are changing the way they're sharing information, the way they're even noticing your product or sharing what your latest message is, that in all of this is less predictable because people themselves are moving at a faster pace in terms of their habits and how they're connecting and trusting each other as well. So this first element here is something that we're really going to be focusing at the Trust Conference. We have some incredible experts. We've got, for example, Zappos talking about how they're changing the way they're even building their entire environment and the people that they're working with. We've got people like Penny Power, who just got her OBE for the work that she did with the Digital Youth Academy, shifting the way that we're actually even educating the youth and getting them set up for jobs in the workplace. Bob Geldof, who's going to be talking about how he has gone out and looked at the global stage at how trust is moving between not just businesses but also governments. So just by being there and actually saying, if I could get that little element extra of predictability and where the market's going, that gives you that extra certainty that you wouldn't otherwise have. That's one of the first reasons that I think you should be coming. Second reason is that there's also the trust in the people around you. That's not so much your customers, but it's about your team members. It's about your boss. It's about your partners if you're in business and you're actually looking to build those partnerships. You've probably noticed as well that these things are not as predictable as they used to be. I mean, I remember a time where in the different businesses that I've been involved in, whether it's the event business, whether it's in the resort business, that I could pretty much predict who would be the ones who'd be willing to support me. For example, in the resort business, we'd have the travel agents who would be willing to come support us. They don't even exist anymore. We've actually gone and shifted an entire market where the way that we even partner with the right platforms or with the right people is now in an entirely different way than we used to do even just 5 years ago. So in your case, it'll be the same thing. To what extent can you rely on the partners around you to be supporting you in the same way in a year's time? Or would there be new partners that will be showing up? To what extent would the people around you be working differently? Maybe they won't even be around you in the same way anymore, whether there's jobs that are outsourced, whether there are jobs that end up becoming automated. The key for you is how are you setting things up in a way that allows you to not just be successful today, but to be more successful 6 or 12 months in the future as a result of what you learn at the Trust Conference. And then the third thing, probably the most important one, is trusting yourself. I know for myself, absolutely 5-10 years ago, I used to be very clear what the next step was, my career path, what my profession was. That's not clear at all anymore because there are so many new options, there's so many new changes in the market as well. So whatever you were doing in the past, the way that you were set with certainty of where you were going in your life, if you're finding yourself second guessing yourself now, should I even be in this job? Should I be working more effectively with a different team or with the same team in a new business? That's absolutely natural because we're living in such uncertain times. And the one thing that links that uncertainty to you getting to a high level of success and certainty is this concept of trust. Because trust links the present to the future. It creates predictability because when you trust something, you can rely on it. But because of all these changes that are happening right now, we have to invest more time now than ever in being able to trust our market, trust our partners, trust ourselves to know that we know where we will be 6 months, 12 months in the future. So for those 3 big reasons, I highly recommend that you come for the Trust Conference. I'll be there and I look forward to seeing you if you choose to be there as well. It's going to be an incredible day and one in which you're not just setting yourself up for the coming week or month, but for the entire coming year ahead.